What's up, guys? I got an awesome opportunity from me and my boys over at REEBOK. We got a contest, a grand prize for you guys to come hang out for a day with me and Corey Gregory in Columbus, Ohio. Flight, food, transportation, hotel, all taken care of. All you guys got to do is go below, sign up, check it out. You can sign up from November 7th all the way to November 15th. So sign up within that period. We'll announce the winner on like the 16th or 17th. I'll announce it on my Instagram. Make sure to follow me there. Best of luck. Second prize, guys, will be a dope pair of exclusive REEBOK shoes. So either way, you got a couple chances to win. Again, description below. Go and sign up. Best of luck to you guys. Here's something we can all get after. How different is it training women compared to men? Any big differences to consider when it comes to programming, such as volume, frequency, intensity, etc.? I say, yeah, there are some differences, but probably less than you think.
Yeah, agree. Women are definitely more psychological. I mean, I guess I haven't really coached many men.
No, dude, guys are way worse.
Really?
Yeah. Chicks are way more confident and better. This is all blanket statement because everyone's different. But dudes are egotistical psychos.
Interesting.
I would say the biggest difference I noticed, I used to do personal training for a lot of women, and in working with the guys for the last 12, 15 years or so, the biggest difference I notice is that women will follow what you say to a T.
Yep.
And the guys are like, dude, I know how to lift.
Yeah.
And they only kind of follow what you say. And even if you were to write out, like, you know, you're going to do A, B, C, D, they would do A and B and would be like, I'll just do my own
thing. They'll do C and D how they want.
Yeah.
Women will do A1, A2.
Yeah, women will they'll knock it out. They'll do it exactly the way that you prescribed it. And they want to be like kind of more accountable. They're just more organized. I think that women just organize shit better in their heads than guys do. And guys are kind of just they want to like fight authority every time.
I think going deeper into that, I think you mentioned on the podcast you like to know why.
Yes.
Like, all right, I'll do this and that, but why am I doing this and that? And I'm big into that as a coach. From day one, I've always said, hey, even if it's as simple as we're doing this tricep push down because it works this, right? Because that's why you hire me, right? Because I have this knowledge that you don't, and I'm going to share it. In powerlifting,
principle number 14.
Yeah.
It's called the principle of awareness. It's from the Russian weightlifting manual.
Yeah, it's important. So,
I don't know if it's 14, but I made up.
It's like 14, hey.
And so I think if you explain something logical to a female, again, it's blanket statement, right? Everyone's different, but blanket statement, they'll be like, "Oh, that makes sense. I'll do that." And say, like Mark said, I'll go to exact detail of why we're doing something to a guy, and they'll be like, "But I want more. This more weight." You know who you are.
I can't
staring at you right now.
A bunch of guys are gonna comment and be like, "I'm not like that."
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
More programming-wise, things that might be different, and Meg might deal with this a little deeper in terms of strength programming. Girls are often really good at reps. Stereotypically, you're saying 90%. Someone could do an all-out set of 3.
Yeah.
A chick might be able to do 4 or 5. So in the same sense, they might have to make smaller jumps.
Also might not be able to take like their AMRAP to the bank and figure out their 1 rep max because it might be all over the place because they might be able to do 90%.
Yeah, and the why is some physiological stuff. Often chicks do have less type 2 fibers or whatever. They're less explosive in general, right? That's why more guys are dunking basketballs than girls. That's just how things go.
Yeah.
It's just how we're built. But then once you start to get a marathon running, guys and girls' times are a little more similar than maybe a guy's sprint time. That's just how it goes.
Guys have a stick shift, so
and
we're
it gets
faster.
6 speed. Again,
that's what it's for.
And this is all blanket.
Going to hyperdrive.
This is all blanket. There's plenty of guys that are really good at reps. Typical people coming from a bodybuilding background, really good at reps. Add 10 pounds, they miss. Right, and powerlifting the opposite. Really bad at reps. You add, tell them to do a set of 10. They can't do 50%.
Right.
What you got?
As far as like the ego thing, or a lot of times I used to be the kind of lifter to where I would see a program and be like, this is so light, and I have to prep all my lifters and say like, you're gonna think this is too light. It's not. And just letting you know, like, and I program AMRAP sets after some singles. And anytime a person said like, "Oh, this is too light," they're not hitting what I want them to be on their first week.
Yeah,
right.
It also might be week 1 of 1, right?
Exactly.
Week 1 of 12.
So. We got
like, no, you should be hitting 12.
To build.
You should be hitting 12 on week 1 of your AMRAP set, and they're not. So I think that's also an ego thing, and maybe guys. I think guys who choose to work with me, a woman, their ego's a little more checked. Just generally.
Because they've already signed up with you.
Because
like to take that step to.
Yeah, I think for
having a woman help you with strength.
It's like a social. It's like a social.
They've already put their ego aside. I need help. She's strong. I'm gonna get help.
She's
from her.
smart and strong.
Exactly, I think it is guys who tend to understand a little bit more about strength programming too, who want to work with me because they're like, okay, I like what Meg's doing. Let's go for it. So
yeah. Who's your favorite superhero? Don't say your dad.
I wasn't going
I don't know.
to.
I just feel like someone here was gonna say it.
Superhero? I love Batman, honestly.
There you go.
Like, obsessed with Gotham and stuff.
Movie, cartoon, show? Like, what got you into it?
Movie, and I recently started
Christian
watching
Bale?
Gotham. He's like beautiful as well.
Christian Bale? That was a good Batman.
Yeah.
Let me go last.
Smiley?
Superman.
He's pretty
awesome.
dope. As a kid, for some reason, I loved Spider-Man. I think it was all timing.
Spider-Man.
That,
Wait,
like,
I saw someone that looked exactly like, what's his face?
Peter Parker?
Yeah, like in the gym the other day. I could have sworn it was him.
Maybe it was him.
Tobey
Maguire?
Yeah.
So
It was very small.
Possible, because she trains at Gold's
yeah,
Venice.
you never know.
I saw the back of his head and then he walked out and I was like, that was totally Spider-Man.
I think it was just random timing in the 90s, or like maybe you like Batman, like you said, Gotham. And
Yeah.
so like when I watched cartoons as a kid, the best series out was Spider-Man at that time,
True.
like from 93 to like 98. There wasn't like a Superman cartoon.
Spider-Man's pretty cool.
Right.
And so I think I just like that. I mean, Teenage Ninja Turtles, I don't think they're
two.
superheroes, but they're dope.
Wolverine's pretty cool.
Wolverine's amazing. So now as an adult, it's a little different. I like more like that, like the Hulk,
X-Men.
Wolverine.
I find myself watching that all the time. Whenever it's on, I watch
And I like-
whatever.
I like all of them.
Yeah, I do. I like all
Yeah,
of them.
Gambit, all those guys. Beast in there, he's pretty dope because he's strong as fuck and he's intelligent.
Yeah,
That's what I like in my mans.
I used to love
My man's.
Rogue in the cartoon of X-Men because she was super strong. Like, she would
I
pick
watched
up
that
rocks.
X-Men too.
But now in the movies,
She just
she's
represents
like she
death.
touches you.
She's a little teenager, yeah. So she.
That's her power. Is like.
I think
is
she
it
did
still
that.
Super strength.
So I think she had both in the cartoon.
Okay.
And I think she could fly in the cartoon.
Yeah, she definitely could fly. Because I
But-
remember seeing her like. I think I had a picture of her like holding up a boulder.
Yeah.
And she was flying.
But now
Either
she's
way,
just an energy.
we all
Yeah.
gravitate
So-
towards a strong superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, when I was a
kidding.
kid, I liked the Hulk a lot just because Lou
Was it
Ferrigno
Lou? Yeah.
episodes
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
in
that's
rerun
it.
at that point.
I've never
It was
seen
pretty
that,
cool.
I don't think.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's also like kind of weird and like shitty at the same time.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Poop stories, we'll get to it. Both these ladies got a podcast. So
We did.
iTunes and Smelly's channel, they'll be there.
The poop stories will be on there.
I can't wait to hear yours. I wasn't even here when you.
Yeah, you can listen to it on the podcast.
Oh,
Or I can just tell you about it later at dinner.
No,
When we're
I wanna-
eating.
I want to listen to it.
Okay. Well, when's
while
it
we're
gonna be
eating.
up? Weeks from now.
Smelly's been doing a lot of this. What are your views about changing up the tempo and lifting speed for increasing strength?
Told me some of that the other day.
There's a lot of research that shows that slowing down the movement can help a lot with strength, but even aside from research, why not try to get more out of less so you have less risk of injury. Also, there's something called strength aerobics, which is done with really, really light weights, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 30 to 50% of your max. And how bad does that hurt?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. 55 pounds.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's where you're moving very, very slow, doing multiple repetitions. The set might last a minute or so. You'd be surprised at how much it works your conditioning as well, because you're
Hard as shit.
Yeah, it's just really difficult. So I would advise that that you start messing around with that. A good place to start with it is in your assistance exercises when you're done with your main lifts, if you don't want to mess with your main lifts too much. But also, if you're somebody that relies on speed and you really like to kind of dunk your squats and slam down fast out of the bottom and accelerate quickly on the way up and stuff like that, it'd be great if you started to incorporate it on your squats, because now you're taking a lift that you're using some momentum to make the lift easier. Now you're making it a lot harder. We can all agree that pause squats and pause deadlifts and pausing your benches and things like that make the lift harder, which therefore makes you stronger. So why not just try to slow some shit down sometimes? 4 seconds on the way down, maybe 2 or 3 seconds on the way up, also just to increase the time under tension. There's been more recent research that kind of argued against that it causes more hypertrophy. I guess that's still very debatable, because look at how big bodybuilders are. The thought process behind why they're so big is because they do so many reps. They're not necessarily going at a tempo, but they're doing 12, 15, 20 reps. Look at somebody like Kai Green, who's just jacked as fuck. He's very strong. A lot of former Mr. Olympia competitors, Ronnie Coleman and so on, a lot of the guys are super strong because they do sets of 10, sets of 12 and things like that, and because the time under tension is so great, and it makes their muscles bigger. Having a bigger muscle or bigger muscles makes you stronger.
Yeah, to nerd out a little bit, when you talk about like strength aerobics just means that your body's using oxygen for its main fuel rather than anaerobic, which is using like ATP. So you're using different energy systems throughout different times. So we sprint for 10 seconds, anaerobic, we're using that ATP, which is what creatine helps you with. Aerobic, you're doing probably over 30 seconds. So the weight doesn't matter. The only reason we use the light weight is because that's all you can handle for something like a minute. And then 2, we always talk about specificity. I'm a huge fan of training the bench squat dead. And when people think like, oh, well, in my off season, I want to do some different things, get stronger, instead of doing Basu ball, reverse band squats,
Basu ball.
maybe we'll just do a different time or a different tempo or a pause where it's not as specific, but it still can transfer right to your lifting.
If you think about it, even simpler terms, like what's the difference between going like this or going like this? Like which one's better? No one really knows. They're both good.
Yeah.
They're both beneficial. Try them both.
Yeah.
I think that's it, friends. Check everybody out. Bucci, Meg's in the bottom. Smelly's here every day.
Hey.
And we're out here. Time to eat some sushi.
Sushi time.
Sushi?
Bye.